Welcome to our 2022 Pioneer BH270. Starting right in the back here, right below your license plate mount, is going to be your coax inlet for your cable and satellite. It's just going to plug into there, fire up at your TV location. In the back bumper here, if you just pull that cap off, reach in a little bit, we've got your sewer hose in here. Just take note of those two ears there. That's how you'll be hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself does stretch out to about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper here just helps keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things that little bit fresher. And then the cap just presses back on there. Exterior shower here, so you just got that little tab, push down, opens on up, then you can slide out your hose. You get about 3 foot of hose there, standard head, hot and cold water of course, as well as the little mount there, right? So if the dog's out getting dirty, spray him off where he gets inside. That hose just tucks back on in there, and then you just kind of get that little channel right here. You're just gonna sit the head on into that, and she tucks back away. Over to the left a little bit, we got your short cord connection, so you can see you just got that threaded collar in the back there. You also just got that little notch in the corner bar, sorry, the little notch in the bottom corner there. It's just gonna line up with that one, that little tab there. Just press it on, give it a little 1/8 turn, locks it in, and that threaded collar there. Following that cord back, we have a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites are gonna have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home and do your standard outlet, you got the power to do so. Right below that power inlet is your water inlet. So you're just gonna take a water hose, plug it into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Simple as that. Down here, we've got your sewer system. So you just got this cap here, just kind of press that in a little bit and give it a turn. Then you can pull it off and you can see it's got the exact same ears that your hose had. So you'll be attaching it the same way. Just press it on, give it that turn, clicks in, and there you have it. On the left, you got your gray tank. On the right, you got your wastewater. So that's just signified up here. So your gray tank is gonna be your sink water and your shower water. So typically a little bit cleaner than what your black water is gonna be, which is filled from your toilet. So when it comes to dumping your tanks, you're gonna wanna do that black first. Once that's done, you'll come and do the gray last, just to help keep that hose as clean as possible. Making our way down the side of the unit. All the way up to the front here, we've got your storage compartment here. So as you open that up, it does see straight through to the other side. This is also where I'm gonna be putting your short cord once we're done here. Just in on the left wall here, you've got a light there somewhere. There it is. Right, so light switch just up in the top there. Right down below that is just kind of the sending unit for your tire pressure sensors if they are installed. Up. Around the front, this little box here is going to house your battery. So as long as you're plugged in through that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. This little cover here, you can pop those two knobs back, open it up, and you get access to your propane valves. For the video, I'll just pull it right off. And that way we can show you your auto changeover. All right, so it should be red right now. Yep, just currently letting us know that we don't have any propane in there. Our arrow is pointing off of this tank, so we'll open up that tank, and the red will turn green, just letting you know that propane is now present. If it were to go red while you've got a tank open, you're just going to close off that tank, flip over to the other tank, and run off of the one while you get the other one filled. Up front, we've got your power tongue jack here. So on the right, it's just your light switch. On the left, up is up, down is down. Super simple. Around the other side here, we've got the other end of your storage compartment. So same thing, we're just gonna reach on in, you get the same light up in here. Right. Get your water hose here, as well as that park adapter I was telling you about, right? So your 30 amp short cord into there, 15 amp to a standard outlet. Up on the wall here, you've got some manual overrides. So you've got a 3/4 inch jack, so those will be for your stabilizers. I'll go over that in a second. And you also just have this one with the slotted end. That's gonna be for your slide. And then this one down here is the manual override for your tongue jack. Your stabilizers are just right down here. So basically, at the other end of the unit, you'd have the threaded shaft there. You'll have the little slot on it or a 3/4 inch bit. You'll just take one of those adapters there to slide it on, and you can run them up and down if you lose power. Otherwise, you come into this switch here, press and hold extend, and they'll make their way down. Now they do just equalize, so you can see one side goes before the other, so it's not gonna level your trailer. It just stabilizes it once they're down. Once they're down and contacting the ground, we're just gonna hold that button for another second. And you can hear that load on the motors. Once you hear that, you're gonna wanna stop, right? If you were to continue going, you do just kind of run the risk of tearing out the gears inside of that motor there. So this hole right here is gonna lead to your slide out override. So you can see that's got the 3/4 inch end on it there. You just turn that to run your slide in and out if you lost power. Over here, we've got your hot water tank. So you're just gonna line up that keyway, pop it on open. So all of your controls for turning it on are just inside the unit. Before you ever turn it on though, you just wanna hit that relief valve right there and make sure a little bit of water comes out. Now right now we've not got any water coming out just because we've got the unit winterized, so this guy is of course empty. Once you do have it filled though, you open up that relief valve, you'll get a shot of water out. That'll let you know that you're safe to fire it up and you're not going to burn anything out doing so. Once we get inside and do fire it up, I will go over a reset procedure, and the button that I'll refer to is just right here. Closing that up, lining up that keyway again, locking it back down, and that's that. Straight down from there, we've got your low point drain. So this short guy in the back there, that is your freshwater tank drain. So you can see that's open right now. Currently got that drained out. Your two low point drains here, so these are for your water system. You got a hot and a cold there, of course. You're just gonna open up that valve, and that allows the water lines to drain themselves out. Purpose of that being, if you've gone camping for a while and you're leaving the unit now for a little while, you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you can just open those up, drain out the water from the unit. Secondly would be for winterization, just making sure you get all the water out before you pump the antifreeze through. Back a little ways, we got your GFI protected outlet here, so you do have power outside. Cable and satellite outlet there, so if you're looking to have a TV out here, you can do so. This is your freshwater tank fill there. You're just gonna pop that cap off, take your water hose, stick it into there, turn on the water, and that'll fill up the freshwater tank until it's full. You'll know it's full once it starts spitting water out of that vent here, or just by watching your monitor panel inside. Straight up from there, we've got your fridge vent, or sorry, your stove vent. So of course your stove is propane. It is putting off fumes whenever you're using it, so you just wanna make sure this guy's opened up and allowing those fumes to make their way out. You also get your outside speakers here. This guy here is your fridge vent, so nothing back there for you to worry about really, just kind of the service port. Straight down from there is the exhaust for your furnace. So that guy does get hot whenever you're running that furnace, so you just wanna make sure nothing's blocking that. This here is a black tank flush. So over time, you may notice you've dumped your black tank, you know for a fact it is empty, but your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. You're just typically, that's some debris hanging inside of the tank, just caught between the probes, giving you that false reading. So what you're gonna do is just take your water hose, stick it into here, open up that black tank valve that we'd shown you earlier, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank, getting rid of any sort of debris that might be causing your issue. And then lastly is just gonna be your rear stabilizer here. It's the same thing as in the front. I'll press and hold extend, that guy will make its way down. Waiting for that load on the motor, and then we'll stop. There we go. And then in the very back of the unit, we just got your spare tire, your little tailgate storage, as well as the unit being pre-wired for a observation or backup camera. Now this rear entrance here is just to your rear bathroom. We won't go in there just now. Your front entrance here, you just got your little assist handle there. Pop that open, pops into place. Then we'll open up the door. Then in the back here, you just got that little T handle there. It's just gonna slide into that notch right there and just hold the door open for you. And then we got that little blue tab there. Slide that on over and that'll unlatch our steps and they fold on down. Now if you need to change the length of your legs, just kind of press that guy in. You can slide the legs in and out as needed. And we'll make our way inside. So first things first, straight in on your left is your fire extinguisher. It's standard, pull the pin, point, and shoot. Up from there, we've got this switch on the right. That's a WineGuard Connect. So that is your Wi-Fi. So if you do choose to have that hooked up, that's going to be your power button there, and you got Wi-Fi in your trailer. Monitor panel beside that there. So top right there is your water pump. Turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your freshwater tank to pressurize your lines. In the center there is your gas water heater. So turn that switch on, turns on the water heater with gas. So that light there is going to come on, letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that light goes out, the sequence has started. And if that light, it'll try that sequence 3 times. And if that light comes on and it stays on at the end of those 3 tries, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, you'd be going out hitting that reset button that we'd shown you. Again, just make sure you do have propane as well, I guess. That's a good thing to check. So we can hear that whir of the flame. We know that hot water tank's good. And then down on the bottom there is that water heater with electricity. We're just not going to turn that on yet just because we know it's empty, right? So over here we've got your monitor section. So top left is going to be battery. So you can see we're currently 12.3. So charging voltage, we're good. 11.7 would be all right. And 11.2 at that point, you're getting low. You want to make sure you're plugged back in, charging it somehow. For your fresh tank, so as you fill that up, it'll go to 1/3, 2/3 and full. Right. Same idea for your black and your gray. That fresh is just reading that little bit right now just because I am on, well, my bay isn't technically level. It does have the canister off to the one side, so we do have a little bit of water sitting there. That's perfectly normal. But the switch here on the right is going to be your awning, right? So press and hold extend, and that awning will make its way out. I just get these 2 little light switches here as well. So the one on the right there does your awning light outside. The one on the left does your interior lights. So So we're just continuing to press and hold that extend button there. That awning will make its way all the way out. Once we see that black flap at the end come down, you'll also see the black of the metal tube. That's where we're going to want to stop. So there's our flap, there's our tube. We'll stop right there. If you were to continue extending, it will actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric will be underneath your tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. Now, if it were to start raining, it's of course going to be holding some water anyways. So what you can do is grab either arm, front or rear, and just pull down on it. And you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now, if you like that angle better, just because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure the back's straight and fully extended, just so that we're not running the risk of bending anything. And then we're just going to press and hold retract, again making sure our tube is underneath the fabric. Let that guy roll itself up, and that'll be that. And one more thing to keep in mind with your awnings, once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, it does just catch it all, and you do run the risk of bending your arms. So that's, at that point, you'll want to bring it back in. Right. So once it's in all the way, it'll just kind of stop, hugged up tight with the trailer. And that's that. Right. So off to the right here, we've got your bedroom. So you just have that one light switch up on the wall, turns on the one light there. Up above the head of your bed, you also have that light there. The foot of the bed, if we lift up, you get some storage underneath it. Closets on either side are identical. So right inside of here, you get that one light. It's got a little USB charger on the far side, 120 volt outlet, as well as the CPAP access. Up on the wall here is your TV backer. You also get your outlet and your cable and satellite outlet for it. So if you're looking to mount a TV, it's going right there. Blinds pretty well throughout the unit. Just kind of sit where you leave them. Emergency exit, you're taking that red tab, throwing it outside, pulling on that red tab to get rid of your screen, and hopping on out. So we'll just go through this closet here too. So same thing, like I said, you just got the light with the USB outlet, power outlet, CPAP access, and the little closet up top. Same sort of blind over here, with the addition of this window being on a clip. So you're just going to open that and you can slide it. Your sliding door is just on that own little latch right there. So just pull that off, slides, there you go. It's kind of your mudroom closet area, I guess. Before we get much further, we'll open up the slide though. So slide room, press and hold out, and that slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, you're going to hear some clicks from the motors letting you know they've reached their stall. Now, one thing I will go over that I guess just would be good practice, especially if you've just traveled with the unit, knowing Manitoba's roads, would actually be to come back here and just make sure that this ladder hasn't popped out and sat behind your slide out, right? It's not very common, but it is possible that you're going down the road, that thing will hit a bump, slide out, catch behind the slide, and if you open it, you will tear it right off, so just be mindful of that. We'll just continue opening it, and like I said, we're waiting for those clicks. There they are. Now we've got the other end of your TV, right? So you get your TV backers right here now. Then you get your cable and satellite outlet there, as well as your antenna outlet. So just turn that little button on right there. You get that green light, just lets you know your antenna is turned on. It will also help clear up your stereo signal. This right here is the antenna for your stereo. So if you're having an issue, you can kind of pull that out, stick it out a window or out the door, whatever works for you. It's been working for me right there though, so I'm just leaving it there. HDMI is hooked into the stereo as well. So just turn that guy on right there. And there we go. So if we hit that power button again, it's just gonna dim it, right? It'd still run though. We'll hit mode, cycle through all of our modes there. So FM, right? So the volume there, obviously. Speaker set A is your inside set, speaker set B is your outside set. Now as you press individual button, you get individual control. So speaker set A, we can turn down speaker set A, and you can see nothing happens with B. If we hit B, we can turn up speaker set B and nothing happens with A. If we press and hold either A or B, you'll see it brings up both, and at that point it'll control both. Okay. Your Seek's right there. And really beyond that, it's fairly straightforward. Press that guy and you get into all of your settings. Press and hold the power button and it turns itself off. HDMI, once it does have something to use, it will come up as an option as well. And you're just hitting mode to cycle through all those options. A little bit of storage down here. And on your slide, you just got your lights there, just on their own little center switches. This couch right here, you can see the centerpiece does fold down. You get the cup holders there, or you can flip it up and you have a 3-seater, or you can pull up on the bottom here and turn it into a bed. Your dinette, of course dinette, or you can take the table here and pop it on up, just kind of wiggle a little bit. There we go. Then you have your 2 legs here, so you're just going to pull these guys on out of there, lay them down, and then you just kind of get 2 channels right there. You're just going to lay either side of the table onto, and take your back cushions. They are Velcroed, right, and just kind of fill in the center. To create another bedding area. Right. Emergency exit back there, signified by the red tab there. So you're just gonna pull that back, open it up wide, hop on out. USB charging in the center there, same emergency exit in the back. The 3 blinds here, all the same, sit where you leave them. Right. And we'll just go through the kitchen real quick here now. So you get your storage down the side here, the 3 drawers there. Light right above your sink, hot and cold water of course. Bit of storage up above. That plug right there is just for your microwave. Microwave itself, pretty standard, straightforward, just like home. Not much I can teach you there. Below that we got your range vent. So we got the fan switch on the left, light on the right. It's of course propane stove. Like I said, you want that fan turned on, evacuating said fumes. Bifold cover just flips on back. Then you can take your knob, turn it over to high or light. Hit it with the sparker and you see she fires right up. There we go. Close it back up. For your oven, just gonna take that knob there, turn it over to pilot and press and hold. You can kind of feel it fall into place a little bit. Grab a lighter and right in the back there, once it clears the air out of the lines, you can see that pilot light gets going. Once you get that pilot light going, you just want to hold the knob in for another couple of seconds, then you can release and it'll hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature and she'll fire right up. Just quick note with all of your propane system, fairly standard for it to take a time or a try or 2 before you get it going, especially if it's been a while, just because it's got to clear air out of the propane lines. Once you're done with the oven here, so just turn it back down to pilot and it'll hold just the pilot light for you. But if you're done or you're going traveling, you just want to make sure that's right off. Down below, this is just an access panel. There's nothing back there. This little bit of storage here, that's the access panel you're interested in. 2 screws here, and you get access to your hot water tank in the back there. You also get access to your water pump in the back. You do have a winterization kit installed already as well. So once it comes time, you do have the ability to do yourself, or of course we can do that for you. We get your fridge here, so you got your refrigerator down below. Temp selections in the back here. So as the sticker says, the slider up is colder, down is warmer. Up top we get your freezer as well as your controls. So on the left here, kind of with that button out over flush, that's going to be off. With it flush, that's it on. With this button on the right here, flush, that's it on auto. It's going to first look for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. Or if you're out dry camping and you solely want it running on gas, just have that button come out so it's over flush and it'll run just on gas. If you ever get that little check it light right there, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off and back on to reset it. And if it still doesn't fire up, just make sure you got propane. Like I said, that button out over flush is off. A little bit of storage beside it, kind of a pantry area, I guess. Down below your fridge is just a return air for your furnace. So you just want to make sure it doesn't get blocked off. It does get warm there. Top and center pops open your converter here. So you can see you got all of your breakers down the center here. Whenever a breaker breaks, it's going to sit in the middle. So just turn it off and then back on to reset it. On the right side, to get all of your fuses. Whenever a fuse pops, you'll get a little red LED right beside it, letting you know exactly which one went. Okay. And then right behind me here is your bunk area. So like we went over earlier, we got your little ladder there. Down in the bottom corner there is your LP detector as well as CO2. So propane's everything there, it'll sit on the floor. This guy will detect it and start going off. Power outlet there for you. Straight up from there is your thermostat. So just press that bottom bar, it'll wake it up. hit that bottom bar again, we'll go into fan speed. So that's fan low. It's just moving air. There's no cooling involved in that. Okay, so you can hear that going. Hit that bar again, come into fan high. So again, just high fan, moving air around, no cooling. After that, we hit the bottom bar again, it'll come into cool high. So at that point, it's gonna be running that cooling in and out as needed, leaving the high fan on all the time. That's gonna be the cooling coming in as needed with the low fan on all the time. And then once we come into cool auto here, so that's where the compressor and the fan will cycle in and out as needed and become an on-demand system, right? So just automatically keeping you cool. After that, we get high, so that's where it'll actually start bringing in the high fan rather than just using the low. Temp selection is just with your arrows here, right? And after the cooling, we'll hit that bar again and it comes into heat. Again, just selecting our temperature with the arrows. It'll turn off the air conditioner and turn on the furnace. And just while I got the air conditioner, well, while it was going at least, you got these louvers here. You can have them open, in which case we're just dumping all of our air into the living room here. Or you can close them off and it'll start using the ducting to move the air throughout. Right, so when you first get to your campsite, you want these open. Just dump all the air into this area, cool it off as quickly as possible, make it comfortable, and then you can close them off and start moving the air throughout. So up in the bunk area, I'm not gonna come up here, but right in the back corner, you've got a light similar to what you had in the front bedroom there. You get the switch on the one side, USB outlet on the other. And identical down here with the addition of the window. And I will crawl in this one. But in here, it's the same window that you had up front. And then the light here, so you get the switch as well as your USB outlet. And then, like I said up front, you get the red tab and the other red tab. Just getting rid of them and hopping on out. Okay. Out through the door into the bathroom. Light switches up on the wall here on the left. One on the right does your fan here. So you just got that knob there, turn that. You can open up that roof vent. Okay. That switch back there is also for the fan. We're just gonna run off of that switch there though. G-fire protected outlet here. So test on the left, reset in the center. So if you ever have an outlet that doesn't work or if your fridge won't work on auto, this is a good thing to come and check first. A little bit of storage up in the medicine cabinet there. Hot and cold water, of course. A little bit more storage down below as well. Just being mindful of our water lines and our drain right there. We don't want to be breaking those. Your toilet here, a little flusher on the right side there. And then your shower here with your hot and cold water and the standard hose and head. All right. Well, that's about it with this guy. If you've got any other questions on the unit, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.